Hey, welcome back. May is Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month, and here in Lexington, there are a couple events coming up to help celebrate the culture. Want to welcome in Lexington's Vice Mayor Dan Wu to tell us so much more. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
Let's start right off with those events. There's two of them coming up. Tell us more about what's going on.
Yeah, one is this Friday night at 7:30 at the Kentucky Theater. They are doing an encore presentation of my favorite movie of all time, Everything Everywhere All at Once, which a year ago was just this obscure little weirdo film.
Right, yeah.
And as of this year is now the multi-Oscar winning juggernaut and cultural presence that it is. So super excited about that. But even cooler than that, we've got 3 performances by 3 local organizations preceding that movie. We've got the Bluegrass Filipino American Association. They're going to do a couple of dance performances. We've got Dr. Kim's World Taekwondo Academy. They're going to do a little martial arts demo. And then the FAM Foundation, which is an Asian American-led hip-hop dance group, they're going to do a performance. So super excited.
And then there's another event that's coming up as well in just a couple of weeks.
That's right. On the 19th, which is Gallery Hop Night, from 5 to 8 at Lex Arts, we're going to have a curated and juried Asian American art show, plus a whole bunch of performances. There's going to be some dance, some fashion shows, some poetry readings, and even a stand-up comic.
I'm excited to take part in all of this with you guys.
Yes,
it's gonna
absolutely.
be so much fun. I want to ask you this question. You know, why is it so important to create these events here in Lexington?
Yeah, even though there are, well, I say only, there are 13,000 Asian Americans here in Lexington, but we often aren't on the forefront of cultural events and sort of being seen out in the public. So I think it's really important for us to kind of make our presence known and also just to celebrate our culture and our heritage, and not just heritage in terms of history, but celebrating all the cool people doing all the cool stuff right now.
Yeah, and right here in our own backyard, I think is so cool. Asian representation, we talked about this, you know, in Hollywood, pretty lackluster. You had Crazy Rich Asians, of course, which did well, but Everything Everywhere All at Once, I think really helped change the landscape when we talk about this. Fantastic movie, but of course when you're talking about like an all-Asian cast, just curious for your take on this, since that is the movie that's going to be screened this Friday at the Kentucky Theater.
Yeah, representation is so important, and you know, when you have so little representation, I always felt bad for Crazy Rich Asians, because to me it's kind of a throwaway rom-com, and it's not supposed to be the be-all end-all, but because we don't get to see ourselves on screen, we put so much into that film and kind of weight it down. And so the more we get to see ourselves on screen in different shows, in different movies, in different genres, the more that pressure is taken off, and then it's just us being part of the cultural landscape.
Yeah, and I think another focus that we want to hit on too, I mean, you were the first Asian American that we have in this new role here as Lexington's Vice Mayor. You know, kind of coming into that, was it something that was, you know, notable for you, memorable? Like, explain what you're feeling about, you know, having that new role. Yeah,
I'm certainly proud to be the first Asian American Vice Mayor and City Council member, but for me it was never about like being a first or breaking through any ceilings. My hope is, of course, that whoever comes after me doesn't have to break those boundaries and break those ceilings. And ultimately, it's not about checking off a box. It's more about bringing a different perspective to city government from that immigrant new American perspective that we've really never had on council.
Do you feel like as a whole council's kind of grown in that diversity sector?
Absolutely. We made huge leaps and bounds this year. We have more women on council than we've ever had. We've had more people of color than we've ever had. We have LGBTQ representation on council. So it's, very different than what it used to look like.
Absolutely. All right, so if people are looking for more information about these upcoming events, is there a good place that they can direct to?
Yes, GetHappyKY is our Instagram handle. So it's Get H for Heritage, and then AAPI, and then KY. So we trying to find a good acronym that went with AAPI, and of course Happy, I think is great.
It's catchy, I like it. Easy to remember.
Exactly.
Well, as always, Dan, thank you so much for coming in and chatting with us. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Stick around, we've got to look at your headlines right after this.